Hi all, welcome back to more Unconditional Surrender. This is training scenario 4 and this is my part 9. Not sure if I announced the last part, numbered it properly or not. I'm starting to think I mentioned it'd be 7 instead of 8. I might have that wrong. If I do, I'll put a comment in the header about it. Just before starting there, I just realised something, that if I was to play this through, and up to now I'm quite keen, things are going quite well, and I'd like to carry on and do something outside the training scenarios, obviously. But I've just realised this is the start of the war, and if I was to do the main event, we'd just be doing the same thing for the first year. We'd be doing exactly the same as what I've just done. Not that I maybe mind that so much, but it might be a bit dull if somebody's wanting to follow along and start again. So, I don't know though. That would mean if I'm wanting to change it up, I need to do something like the Barbarossa or something like that. Which apparently that's meant to be a good scenario to do, the 1941. Let me just see how many turns. But then if you're taking on the main event, Grant, that's a load of turns anyway. So, well, hang on. What have we got? Main event. USSR 1941 is page 18. How many turns is it? No, that's only 8 turns. Right, that's obviously not... Or is it the whole thing? Page 20. Yeah, the whole thing, 1941 to 1944 is 42 turns. So, well, who's to say? I mean, what's wrong with it? 8 turns, maybe. It's great that they've got all these different options, isn't there? There's so many different ways. You can have the Soviet versus the Western as well, which is the hypothetical war with Soviet against the Western after Germany surrendered, 1945 to 1946. That's 18 turns. I don't know. Anybody's got a suggestion what might be better, or if you're happy enough to watch, if I'm willing to take on the full campaign and just start again and watch through this part again. I wouldn't mind going through it again, to be honest, and might be able to do it a little quicker. Yeah. No guarantees of that though. Right, anyway, we're jumping ahead of ourselves. Let's get this one finished before we get the next one started, Grant. Okay, so weather. Yeah, we want weather for January then. It's going to be the same again, isn't it? It's the same weather chart, as in the same results as what we had for, December to February. So it's the same. It doesn't matter what it was before. So I'll get my weather dice. Yeah, we got a good result with the last ones, didn't we? But now we've took the unit of Denmark anyway, so it doesn't matter so much now if we do end up severe. No, a 2, a 3, and a 6. So 3, 6, well, that must be severe. And a 2 there. So we've got poor for the cold zone. I'll just adjust this off camera. Right, it's actually that poor, isn't it? And it's severe for the mild zone, which is where we are. And poor for the warm zone as well. Okay. Right, next step, declare war. Well, no, we're not going to do that this time. Remember, we've got severe weather here as well. We do have our surprise attack marker now, but you definitely need... I don't know, can you do it? Can you do it in poor weather? Make the crossing? Well, I know you can't even attempt it in the severe. Amphibious invasion assault. Yeah, you can't do it in poor because you get a +1 if you've got naval support. You get a +2 for naval support attacking a unit in a coastal hex affected by fair weather, or +1 naval support attacking a unit in a coastal hex affected by poor weather. And we know that the British can't intervene here. I'd say they would need to be placed somewhere else for them to be able to do that. One of the things I was looking at yesterday, earlier on, when I was talking about this was new to me. I didn't know that you got a +2 per additional attack or tank when you're doing an assault and attack. But reading on, this confused me a bit. It says, so +2 per additional attacker, tank or shock unit attacking a unit in a hex affected by fair or poor weather. That seems wrong, because maybe you should look at the more updated player aid grant, because you would normally get a +2 for a tank attacking a unit in a hex affected by fair weather. However, if it was poor weather, you'd only get a +1 for it. So that would mean that if you had 2 tanks attacking as an assault, in my eyes, that would mean one of them would get a +1 and the other one would get a +2. That doesn't seem right. Let me see the other chart in case it all becomes clear there. Ground combat DRM. +2 per additional attacker, tank or shock unit. Excuse me. Yeah, no. I find that a bit odd, but that's what it says. So anyway, okay. So where was that? Yeah, I don't know why I ended up going on to that. Declare war, we're not doing that. Economy phase. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to do these off camera. Nothing changed. 28. In fact, why did we not spend anything the last time? Why is it still at 28? I did spend points, didn't I? Moved the wrong thing. No, I think what I've done is I've not dropped the 10s down. I think it should have been at 18. So I must have spent about 10 points. Would that be right? I remember I moved 1, 2, 3, 4. Mobilise unit 5, and then 5 for the diplomacy. Yeah, that's what I've done. Okay. So it's back up to 28. Right. And French are at 16 still. UK is at 18 still. In Denmark, they still have their factory, and they've not been wiped out yet. And they don't lose that will point that they have. They're still on 2 will points. That unit didn't give loss of a will point because it was only a garrison unit, remember. So right, so that's the economy. Strategic warfare still not happening yet. Strategic movement. Right, this will come off, and I don't think we're doing any more strategic movement. I don't think there's any need for that just now, so no. And we're not going to bother with the western side. So operations, right. So this time, this guy is going to, he's going to activate it first. And then I'm going to grab a control marker. We're going to zoom in a little bit so we can see. And he's going to go 1-2 into Aalborg, take control of Aalborg. He's still got 6 movement points left. So that drops the Danish national will to 0, so they collapse, are conquered, and the Germans, where is it? Yeah, the Germans conquer Denmark. This unit gets removed. Their production gets removed. I'm going to put that back in my little tray where I've got them. In there. But the will marker stays here to signify that it's a second country that they've conquered. They get to will. 1, 2, they're up to 49. And what's the other thing? Yeah, the pro-axis thing. Right, I'm just going to do that out my rule book. So, yeah, I was about to start maybe printing out earlier on, but Tracy was she's sitting doing things at the printer, so I thought I'd not bother. What am I looking for here? When we take over a country. Hang on a sec. Yeah, so conquered country. Let's say some of this might have been errata, but I think what we're trying to do is okay. The faction. Step 1, remove all conquered country counters from the scenario. Faction that conquered the country puts a friendly pro-faction marker in the diplomacy cup. Oh yeah, okay, so good. So we get a pro-axis marker, and that goes in the diplomacy cup. So that's good. And we also got another one though, don't we? May do one of the following. Select any one neutral country that has an enemy pro-faction marker in its capital hex and remove it. See, now this is where this one's here, and but what's the point of this being here? Does it just something that annoys the Soviets, or I mean, what does it do? I'm missing something there, am I not? Because, yeah, I mean, there's not... Let me go and see if I can find something. Right, okay, I think I found out what the purpose of these are when they go in, when this is seeded. And it was some question. Actually, the guy had asked that question, what is the purpose of... and it was the designer that replied... with the East invaded event, conditional event, which is here. So if we were to go and invade the Soviets. So to be honest, in this scenario, there's no real purpose to it. I don't know why they've bothered. I mean, it's something that should happen throughout the main game, so maybe whether they've just kept it in there. So I think it's because once this condition event triggers, it says an Axis political success. The Axis faction may select any one neutral country that ceded a disputed area to the USSR and apply the political success event to it. Yeah, so to me, my thinking was then we could look at Bessarabia, which in actual fact it's in the... Well, it's not in the capital, it's not in... That's Romania, isn't it? Yeah, I'm slow. I thought I had that there then. Because he said his reply was, hang on. Okay, I've not got it in front of me, but basically it says when you put that pro-axis marker in, it should go in the capital. The example he gives is the Bessarabia one. No, it's not the other one, sorry. Karelia one, which is away up in Finland. And he says that when that pro-axis marker goes in there, it should actually go into Helsinki, which is here. Which isn't in the red area, oddly. So that does make me think, if that's the case there, then this one should go down in, is it Bucharest? Bucharest in Romania. So does that mean... I mean, he then says that the country could then join the Axis due to the East invaded event and this political success thing. But if we are doing that, let's just say it was Karelia we picked and we put that there, can we not just do a normal political success to take Finland? Or I don't know, I'm kind of left with that bit, the fact that it goes in the capital. So in fact, this one here, like I say, when we done Bessarabia, as you go in Bucharest, and right now we're trying to resolve a political, not a political success, but well, yeah. We're in step 2. We can select any one neutral country that has no pro-faction marker. No. Why can I not? Sorry. If the Axis faction conquered a country, yeah, take one German ground unit. Oh, right, I forgot that as well. Right. Anyway, what do we do with the... No, the faction that conquered the country puts a friendly pro-faction mark on the diplomacy cup. Done that. May do one of the following. Select any one neutral country that has an enemy pro-faction or neutrality marker in its capital hex and remove it. Select one neutral country that has no pro-faction or strict neutrality marker in which it shares a land. Oh, I don't get to do this anyway. I'm thinking I can double this up and gain the country and get this as an ally. I don't get to do that in this step. So that means it's not like a political success, it's a bit different. But I still don't know. I mean, if I draw a political success at the Diplomacy Cup right now, can I apply that to Bucharest that we got there from the seeding of Bessarabia and then Romania comes and joins me? I don't know. Like, the way he's answered the question suggests that the only way to be able to do it is through the East invaded event, but how would you remember that you'd put a pro-Axis marker into Bucharest that way? You know? Which makes me tend to think, but then why would I have answered that with that? When the guy asked the question, what is the purpose of putting a pro-Axis marker into a ceded area when the USSR draw an area C's marker, what is the purpose of doing that? He said that you might then gain the country as an ally due to the East invaded event. That was his reply. So that still leaves me a little, I don't know. However, what we're doing right now is I can't double that up and get this to come and join us. So I've jumped ahead there. So we need to select, I can remove, there's no pro-Western markers out there anyway. So that's fine. So I'm going to get another pro-Axis marker that shares a land border with a just conquered country. Now, should I go looking at the updated rules for this? No, I don't think so. I don't think I need to. But I'm going to. Right, okay, just as well I did go and check this, because this is a bit that's full of the blue. And this is where they've changed this restricted political success thing. Which I think I've done this already. Well, I would have done when we done Poland, I've done it. So just as well I had a look though. So if a country is conquered, do the following, exception France. Well, we're not there. Step 1, remove all the conquered countries' counters from the scenario. Yeah, I remember reading this before because that's a bit of a tongue twister. So we've done that. And then step 2, the faction that conquered the country puts a friendly pro-faction marker in the diplomacy cup, which we've done. But however, and then applies a restricted political success event. So that's 14.12. So let's go and look at that then. And we'll come back to step 3. 40.12. Should I be letting you see this? Why not? Excuse me. Sorry. Right, so this is a conquered country bit. So remove all the stuff, right, and then faction that conquered the country puts a friendly pro-faction marker in Diplomacy Cup, then applies a restricted political success event. So 14.12. Right, so the faction applying political success, restricted political success, or unrestricted political success must do one of the following. Return friendly, yeah, we've been through that. Right, select a neutral country anywhere on the map that has one or two enemy pro-faction markers, remove one of them from it. Right, okay. Select a neutral country anywhere on the map that has no enemy pro-faction marker in it and shares a land border with an active friendly country. If the West done, they get to do sea zones and whatever. But because we're doing a restricted political success, it needs to be, in addition, it needs to be a shared land border. In addition to the shared land border, there must also be a shared land border with a just conquered country. Well, that's not any good, is it? Well, no, you've got Sweden. Does Sweden count? No, I don't think it does. In fact, I want to say I know it doesn't, because watching a playthrough, the designer actually challenged the guy's playthrough. It was one of the guys that have done loads of videos out there. Fred, I think his name's Fred. Dren608, is it Dren608? What a good stuff, what a good videos. I've watched a lot of them and there's loads of them. So, and what it was he had taken Sweden, let's go and have a look. He had put a pro-access mark on Sweden. Now, I think he had taken Sweden. And I think the designer challenged them by saying you can't, there's no land border between Denmark and Sweden. And but his reply was that what he had done, he hadn't done it through Sweden. It's when he conquered Norway that he'd done it from there. So although there's straits in between Copenhagen and Malmo, there's a strait here. There's not a land border, and we are not the Western faction. So I want to say that we can do that then. So, well, that's not any good to us then, is it? If it needs to be adjacent to... What I probably need to do is find some video footage of somebody conquering Denmark and seeing what they do. That would be the most sensible thing to do, Grant, I think. But it needs to be a more recent one, because that looks like that's restricted. That never used to be. In the rulebook that I've got, it basically says select one neutral country that has no pro-faction marker in it and which shares a land border with it. Oh no, it does say that. Why is that shown in blue then? Because it's shown as a restricted one? Yeah, it does have to have a shared border. It needs to share a land border with an active friendly country, and it needs to share a land border with a just conquered country. Share a land border. Yeah, and it's actually the first bit that's been changed then. which is shares a land border with an active friendly country. That bit's not, that's a bit that's not in my rule book. So it's always had to share a land border with Denmark. So that rule's not changed. And then if it also has to share it with a friendly country, yeah, we can't get nothing then, can we? We don't get nothing out of that. So that's our only choices, and it's like remove one or do that. So I don't think we're getting to do anything here. I think you can put that back, right? So something else to maybe watch about somebody conquering Denmark, how they go about dealing with this. Maybe, yeah, let's go and have a little look. I'm probably going to have to go take a break soon anyway, so leave that open just now. Right, give me a second. Well, you know what I think I'll do? I'll try and finish these steps. You should have kept your tablet open though, and well, I've still got it here, so I need to step back again to 13.2.2, the conquered country, but I'd rather read it out here. Back of that, that's it, right. So I don't think we're going to be able to place a proactive marker there. I'm going to look a lot more at that one. So where do we carry on? So that was step 2. So step 3, if an allied faction conquered a country, that's not that, so we can skip step 3. It's step 4 that we want. Let me just zoom this out a bit. Sorry. Easier to read for me anyway. If the Axis faction conquered a country, put the conquered countries will one's marker and Axis faction cards conquered allies countries box. It's a mouthful. I've done that, and yeah, that could affect strategic warfare. How does it? Right, I'm right on top of the player aid, so we'll look at that if I remember in a minute. Take one German ground unit from its faction card's conditional pot and box and put in the eliminated box. Okay, so again, the Germans get one of their garrisons and it goes in the eliminated box, and that'll cycle through the mobilisation, be able to build what the turn after next. And then Greece Germany's national war by 2. I remember that one. I've done that. If it was Italy, it's 8. It's not Italy. If Italy was conquered, no. Oh, yeah, look at that. If Italy was conquered, put a pro-Axis marker in the diplomacy cup. This is in addition to the marker put in the cup in step 2. If Poland was conquered, well, no, we've done that before. Also, if the Nazi and Soviet pact policy is in effect, do the following in the order listed. Well, it is in effect. An Axis in Western order, each faction repatriates. There's no units in the count. And the Denmark. The Eastern Poland disputed areas ceded to the USSR. Oh, right, sorry, this is part of the Poland bit. Sorry. Okay, step 5, if the Soviet faction conquered, no, that's it then, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to see what it mattered about those conquered countries, but I assume it only affects the Soviets. Not that one. Yeah, that one. That says, per 3 allied countries conquered by the Axis, round up, the Soviet faction would get a +1. So it doesn't actually help our strategic combat. It helps the Soviets. Yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to have to take a bit of a break. So, can't we just finish this activation? Because we're writing this guy's activation, aren't we? So I think we've dealt with the conquered country part. So I'm just hoping to bring this guy back and go across. I'm not going to reach Copenhagen, but so he's got 6 movement left. So 1, 2, and my belief is 3, 4, because we are just going across the transport. Oh, I can make that. I had 6 left. Was that right? Yeah, we put the... No, we ended up with the guy there, and it was 2 to enter there. And then... So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then another 2 to go into Copenhagen. So I think that's right. So we're able to capture them both. Not that we need to go and get this, but we're better sort of taking control of it, I think. I mean, then I'm going to just leave them empty, controlled. Thing is, if they weren't controlled anyway, and the fact that Denmark's collapsed, could the Allies, could the British still just sail across there and into there? If the country was collapsed? I get the feeling they couldn't do that anymore anyway, so... But if they did do an invasion of there and there's no unit there, obviously they're just going to be able to stroll into there, aren't they? And that's that done. But again, we're kind of just messing about with things just now and try to see how it all works. So that's him done. Well, hold on. Yeah, you're still not wanting to abandon things here. But then what's... Well, it's severe weather. We can't do it this turn anyway. So February, March. Let's look at this weather table again. February is still going to be the same, isn't it? Bad. Yeah, February can't be fair. March, there's a very slim chance on a die roll of 1. And then April, it's not much better, to be honest. No, it's not. And to be honest, if you get fair in March, you can't have fair in April. So yeah, and if you move into May, it's a 1 to 3 chance. So it does mean we're going to be sitting there for a while waiting to try that. Unless of course it's doable in the poor weather. I'm going to have to work out some of the sums, I think. And how that's going to pan out, I think. So I don't think we're doing it just now. Right, Grant, you might as well finish this part off. Yeah. Because again, there's not an awful lot happening, is there? So, well, we don't need the first Panzer there anymore, so let's just... do we? No, because when we do the invasion, we're just going to take an infantry unit across. Ideally, you're wanting that Nor unit, but I don't suppose it needs to be that. Obviously, historically, that must have been what that army was used. Okay, so I activate the first Panzer then for 2 points. And then, so I've got the second Panzer in there. Probably don't want my Panzers. Oh yeah, I got a comment from Martin explaining some of the things about the whole how you declare war, which was quite useful. It was written down in a way that was understandable. However, he did sort of say, the one bit that threw me was, you can't declare war on an active country, and to start the game, the UK, the French, the USSR, and the Germans are active countries, which means that you can't declare war on the French. I thought we had to declare war on the French. But according to how he's worded that, it suggests not. Now, you'll notice that there's no units in here and there's no units in here. And when we started Poland itself, there shouldn't have been units in there. I just set them up because we knew what we were going to do. And just the same as we attacked Denmark there, the units weren't there. It's a neutral country. So you then declare war on it, you populate the country with the units, and then you get on with it. France is set up. France and the UK, Germans, the USSR as well should be set up. These are active countries, so you don't declare war on them. So that's quite interesting then. It's not a huge big deal really, but he also talked about that, yes, the French and the Germans can back and forth airstrike each other. And now, obviously, if the Germans were to take a step into Belgium, then that then is the West invaded conditional event or trigger, and all things that happen. We need to be prepared for when that happens. So I don't think I need to actually state that I'm declaring war on France. But we do when it comes to the Netherlands and Belgium. We'll probably do them both at the same time. Yeah. Okay. So the Panzers, where do I want the other one? Yeah, I mean that one's on the transport line. I don't know if I want the other one going in that way or not. Maybe. Right, let's bring it down then. So we've activated it. That's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 into there then. I'll just leave him there. And then, yeah, we only need that one infantry unit up there. We need the air unit when we bring it in. That garrison will sit there. So we can move the 6 infantry away as well and get him ready. So we'll spend 1, activate him. And we've got the 4th infantry there. Well, I just move it into there then. What else do we need down a wee bit to the south here? This, and this is alright, I think. Well, and this an army that's going to be, yeah, that's going to come back to full strength as well, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so I'll activate him and I'll just move him into, well, actually that works. I can move into there from there, can't I? It's still coming across the river, but I'll put it in there for now. Right, I think that'll do. Yeah, okay, so that'll do. Moving on, sequence of play over to the... And then, yeah, no issues with supply. No. So over to the Western faction, they're not going to do nothing again. No supply phase, replacements phase. Right, Germans are going to spend 1 to flip that guy. Down to 23 actually. That's it. Nothing for the Western side. No upgrade mobilization. Yes. So, right, how much is it for the air unit then? So mobilization. It's 1 for the ground unit, and it's 3 for a fighter, and it comes in with 4 sorties, like I said. So we're going to bring them down. We're going to spend 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're down to 19, and I'll bring them down. Right, so we've got the Nord unit. I think we'll put them up here in Kiel, and maybe head him up to Aalborg, ready for action, and we'll bring this 12th one back. And then we've got the German 5th Luftwaffe. I'm assuming it needs to go in a city as well, so... well, actually, no, it's going to go up here as well, isn't it? This is the one that we need for the attack on Norway, isn't it? So I'm going to put that in there in Kiel as well. Don't think there's an issue with that. And it comes in with 4 sorties. So we need the time for that to tick down as well. Probably. But again, the weather... Well, if the weather allows us to, we would take the 2 sorties available and probably go for it. Right, that's mobilisation, and nothing for the Western faction to mobilise. Diplomacy. Okay, so we've now, we put a bunch back in, and there's only 2 political successes out there, 2 no events, so there's not enough of what. Well, there is a pro-Axis marker in there, though, isn't there? And a political success. Yeah, we've got to go for it. There's 4 no events as well, so I think the Germans have to go for this. Well, they've got nothing that can target... Well, unless, like I say, unless I can target this and get Romania on my side. I don't know. Going by that the designers answer that question, kind of suggests to me that it's not, but there's nothing to say this is a kind of different pro-Axis marker that's been placed because it was placed because of the ceding of Bessarabia. So, I don't know. Right, well, these are some questions that I need answered, and we will get around to finding out, hopefully. So I spend 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 14. And we're going to go for it. We're going to draw out the cup, so hopefully I don't get the political success, and then I'm like, now I'm needing to go and find out. Well, it's a bit of a... I kind of want to get it, but... Okay. That's the one we're going for. Oh, we've got a political success. The only one in the cup as well. So now I'm going to have to find out. I think I might ask this question then. Just chuck the question out there. Because I'm a bit confused by how it's all working here. Okay, I'm going to leave this political success here. I'm going to have to take a break now, though. I thought I was going to be able to finish this off. But because of this now question, what I'll do is I'll pause the camera, because I'm going to come back for another little bit as well. I was hoping to get another part done. And then I'll pause the camera and go and ask this question. Hopefully it doesn't come across too dumb. Yeah, okay. I'll just pause and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, cheers. Right, been on pause for quite some time. I did go and pop that question out there, and I did get a reply from Mark Day, is it? Mark Day, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right, who is the developer, according to the rulebook I've got anyway. Well, basically the question was, you know, when we place this through the ceding of Bessarabia and we draw political success from the Diplomacy Cup, can we use that on that to activate that country and become an ally? Of course, the reason I asked was that the designer answered a question, a similar question regarding the other, what was it, Karelia up in Finland, and suggested that the way to turn this into an ally for you needed to happen through the East Invaded conditional event. And that's why I thought, does it have to be that does that? And then I thought, well, how would you know that's been placed there because of that? It could have just been placed there because you put that in there. Yeah. So it says yes, it can be done that way. I think the reason the designers answered with the question that way is it would straight up guarantee us this. Now, what Mark has said, that remember, because of the new rules, now the old rule here, which I didn't know, that there's changes made to not only the 13 point, the collapse of the country, not the collapse of the country, conquering of a country, there's changes made there, but there's also changes made to the political success. And they are, and I've maybe just read this from my rule book before this, that option 2 is select any neutral country that has a friendly pro-faction marker in its capital hex. That neutral country activates and joins the friendly faction. So right now we'd be able to do that here if we were using the old rules. However, they updated the rules, and this is, I was getting a bit confused, and I thought I was looking at the other bit, and that's why I need to get the rule book printed out. I'm going to do that tomorrow, or before I sit down at the table again. But yeah, hopefully I'll have done it before I sit down again, after tonight. So, and then the new rule says, select a neutral country anywhere on the map that has no enemy pro-faction marker in it and shares a land border with an active friendly country. So it's got to share a land border with an active friendly country before we even consider it. So does it do that? Actually, maybe, hang on. Sorry, just try to pause and stop the coughing fit that I know is coming. So does it share Romania? This is Romania. It comes up around here. You know what? I think we don't. Yeah, we do. We do. It shares a border with that, doesn't it? I think we might still be getting this. I didn't think we were, but it needs to be able to share a border with a land border with an active friendly country. Yeah, and then if it does, and then we move on, it says if it has no pro-faction marker in it, put 1 in it. But the other one is if it has 1 friendly pro-faction marker in it, and 1 strict neutrality. No, it's the next bullet. If it has 1 friendly pro-faction marker in it, no strict neutrality marker, and is not Italy, Spain or Turkey, that country activates and joins the friendly faction. So I think this might actually work after all, because Romania is... Can I move that back a little bit? Before the ceded part, Romania's border, I'm assuming Constanta is part of Romania. Sorry, my geography's not good. So the border line comes up there, and there's Bucharest, there's the capital of Romania. So it comes along here, around. Now it joins and goes that way, so it's yeah. So this is part of Yugoslavia, so it doesn't go into there. And this is part of Hungary, so it comes around up here. This is still its border, and it goes in here. Now, so that was its border in Hungary, border in Yugoslavia. None of them are friendly to us, to the Axis. Then it hits this border here, which is part of Poland, isn't it? However, it's part of Eastern Poland, which was ceded to the USSR. Oh, maybe I'm not getting it then. Because before this was ceded to the USSR, Poland came right around here and up and around by the looks. So that would have been a border with Poland. But now it's a border with Eastern Poland, which is not something friendly to us. We're not going to get it then, I don't think. And then we come back around to here, and this is where Bessarabia cuts the rest of Romania off. This used to be all of Romania down to here, but now that part's been ceded to the USSR and there. But none of that helps us as well. So, yeah, it does look like we're not getting that after all. That's a bummer. Okay, so back to the drawing board then. So we need to... Right, I'm going to have to start looking at the tablet here. I'm going to get... So I need to select a neutral country. There's no enemy pro-faction marker, and it shares a land border with an active friendly country. So, well, this is where we could pick... I've picked Hungary a couple of times, haven't I? And it's been taken away from us. Well, I tell you what, if we pick Hungary again... No, it doesn't generally help us, does it? Because if the Western faction go and take it away again, they'll just take it out of Budapest. Yeah. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to put it in Hungary again then. So I need another pro-Axis marker, and I'll put that in Budapest. And that political success gets set aside. I mean, that was a lucky draw at the cup because it was the last one, although we've got a pro-Axis marker in there as well. So, okay. Right, so that was... Yeah, it's been a long time since that happened because I've been away for a bit as well. Right, I want to push on here a bit because I'd like to get another part done before I end the night. So, right, well, what are the Western faction going to have a go at this? What is in here? We've got 4 no events, an area seized, a political failure, and a pro-Axis. Now, if they draw the pro-Axis counter, what happens there then? Well, I need to check back to diplomacy then, don't I? Right, yeah, okay, so if they draw the pro-Axis marker, it just gets set aside. It doesn't go back, it doesn't go in the holding box, it doesn't go back in the cup, it just gets set aside and nothing happens. So... thing is, they don't want... If they draw the political failure, I want to say that that does allow us to activate. And in fact, in that case, the fact... No, that doesn't work. You still only have the option of Hungary, don't you? Because Hungary's still not an adjacent friendly country. Well, we know the Soviets are going to draw from that cup because there's an area seized marker in it. What would the Allies want to put 2 no events back in again? I mean, they could do with somebody on their side as well. I feel like I'm playing this one-sided and I'm just saying, look, they're not interested in an ally. They're just wanting to get make sure we don't get one. But because of the scenario I'm playing, it's a bit annoying that I'm thinking that way. This is, I guess, where I start to struggle. I need to be thinking differently now. Well, I suppose that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I don't want the Germans getting Hungary. You know? What about if the Soviets draw a political success, however? What happens there then? Yeah, well, I mean, basically the Western faction will make the decision for them and they'll be able to they'll just remove that pro-Axis marker. So I think what the British are going to do is they're going to spend 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're going to put back a political success and no event then, because they have to select a no event. Let's just go with that, because we know the USSR are going to draw, because they've got a rule built into the scenario that says they have to draw if there's an area seized in there and not all the countries are seeded yet, then they're going to draw one. Right, so let's go with that, and they're going to draw one now. So shuffle, and we get... Ooh, Political failure. You know what though? I think they might be getting away with that because I think it might go over to the Western faction. I remember reading. Hang on, let's see. Political failure. Let's have a look at this one together. Right, so this represents negotiation breakdowns, political coups, allies acting independently, e.g. Italy attacking Greece, etc. A non-phasing faction, as determined below, applies an unrestricted political success event. What? Well, I don't quite understand what that means. Right, okay, I'm going to read on. If an allied faction pulled the political failure marker, the Axis faction applies the event. Okay, so the allied faction, they are indeed the Western and the Soviet faction, aren't they? And then if the Axis faction pulled the political failure, the Soviet faction applies the event if the appeasement policy is in effect and both the Nazi and Soviet Pact Moscow Treaty are not in effect. Otherwise, the Western faction applies it. I think that's what I'd read before, and that's why I thought they were going to get away with that. Well, we're going to get to apply it. But then I think we're applying it as an unrestricted political success because we're a non-phasing faction at the moment. What that means is the phasing faction are the ones that are drawing the shit out of the cup. So it's the USSR that are the phasing faction at the moment. So we're the non-phasing faction. So it's an unrestricted political success event. So select a neutral country on the map that has no enemy pro-faction marker, shares a land border with an active friendly country. So we can pick Hungary here. And then unrestricted says the shared land border or sea zone above is not required. Oh, so the political failure, actually, we could actually get Romania here instead then. And we should probably take Romania instead, shouldn't we? Not that it's probably going to matter, but if we take Romania now, then it means that Hungary is still a possibility later on. Again, not that we're probably going to make use of their armies or anything like that. So that's right, I think. Political failure. So did that have that in the old rules, or is that something that's changed as well then? It says the non-phasing faction applying this event must select one neutral country that shares a land border with an active country. Oh yeah, I'm better not reading that. It doesn't even explain it there though. That tells us more about it, doesn't it? That just starts off talking about the non-phasing faction applying this event. This is better. This tells us that if an allied faction pulled the political failure marker, which they did, the Axis faction applies the event. And then that bit tells us that we are the non-phasing faction. We apply it as an unrestricted political success, which means that we don't need the shared land border. Okay. I think that sounds right, but so that political failure goes back, that goes outside the cup. And yeah, we're going to go for Romania, I think, because we don't need that land border. So we're going to activate Romania as an ally. Like I say, it's not going to matter because it's not going to be able to move out of Romania. I'm pretty sure it can't move through Germany. I don't know where that is, but again, that's something else I need to find. Or if I speak about it here, being lazy, somebody might point me at that one. So let's see, Romania. What's going to be in this other box? Well, let's get the rules open for activating a country, actually. Right, there's not an awful lot to look at here. It does tell us about if there's one of the special countries, then there's certain conditions. Ground unit is placed at full strength. An area unit is placed with no sorties in a city. All placements must be within the activated country's mainland. Yeah, okay. So what is it I'm on? Romania. There they go. I think they've got maybe 2 or 3 units, actually. 1, 2... Oh, yeah, and that one's a full strength one as well. There we go. Yeah, there's 2 full strength ones and a garrison. Right, so... First of all... Well, I don't know what their national wall is. Let's look for that. Let's hunt them out in the back of the book there. Romania, national wall 6, factories 2. So their national wall is 6. So they go up there. Remember, they're part of the axis. And factories they've got are 2. So no, factories grant here. Is that right? Yeah, factory count 2. And then we'll get doubled up. And then, yeah, we've got, like I say, 2 field armies and 1 garrison army. So, well, this will come away. No, sorry, that's Hungary. Yeah, this will come away. It's forgetting. I mean, I think that's right. If for some reason I've got that wrong and I did have to select Hungary, then at least we know we do have an ally in the game. So we have satisfied that part of the win condition, if you like. So Bucharest, Belgrade, that's Yugoslavia. So our cities are Bucharest and Cernotai. That's pronounced terribly, I think. Constanta and Kishinev, that's our 2 factories. Oh, well, no, we only have 1 factory then. Did I say there was 2? I did. The fact that one's ceded over to the USSR, that means, my guess is we've only got 1 factory then. I've got that in the wrong bit. I'm marking that down as factories. That's a production, isn't it? Yeah. So we've only got 1 point of production. Well, actually, do we get this right away? We activate the country. Do we actually get that production? Because we've not been through the economy phase. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe we don't have access to any production at the moment because this is after the economy phase, isn't it? I don't know, possibly when they join. Does it say anything there? Not something I've come across that though, so I don't know if they want, because we're still in the Axis operations phase here. So if we were able to activate Romania, we've got 1 production point we could use to activate one of the armies, you know. To be honest, we're not going to do anything with them. So let's just put the garrison in Bucharest, and oh, excuse me, right, that and there. Well, actually, where are we putting the other guy? We've not got another place to put him. Right, I must be missing something there then. Right around there, right around there, right around there. And then this is where the seeded part is. So I don't get that city, I don't believe. And I don't get that city. I don't know. Stumped with that one then. Unless I'm allowed to place them in these. Or am I allowed to place them in these? I've got to repatriate, maybe. That's maybe something that says that I've got to. Right, well, they're not going to be used, so, but again, probably looking for an answer to that one, guys, if anybody. It feels like it's not in the territory that I'm allowed to put it in, but because they need to go in a mainland city, which at least I think they do, I don't think they can just go on a transport line. A ground unit is placed at full strength. It just says in a land hex. Okay, I've obviously not read that properly. I suppose I'm thinking the mobilisation, and that's not what we're doing. Yeah, because when we placed the unit in Denmark up here, come on, Grant, wake up. When we placed the unit in Denmark, it didn't need to be in a city, did it? Sorry, okay, we're being silly. So we'll leave that there, and then, well, it's really only the west that we're dealing with, so, I don't know, I'll put these guys along at the border here, something like that. I don't think they're going to move. Like I say, well, they can't move into Hungary at the moment. I think if Hungary became part of, we would maybe be allowed to then move into Hungary, but something says I can't move through Germany. There's something that I've got a reminder of that back when I played the game. Okay, right, we're ticking on with the time now, Grant, so let's get this over and done with. How did we get about that? Oh yeah, we're near the end of turn anyway. And that was the Soviets' draw, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Because the Allies put chits back into the cup. Okay, good stuff. Right, so we're now past the diplomacy phase, victory check, it's no victory, end of turn phase, good, that worked out quite well. I thought I was going to have to start rushing about there. Right, so turn marker's going to move on, ground support's coming back, and there's a German unit, so I'll bring them down. So the ground support goes back in the events for the Western faction, and this German unit, I'm going to turn them reduce side up, goes into mobilisation, and then the final part of this is move all units and faction cards, eliminate box to its mobilisation box, so that guy comes down. I'll need to remember that one of them is a garrison, one of them's not. Oh yeah, that says Gar on. Oh no, you know what it's missing? It's missing the X and the NATO symbol. I say the X, It's missing the X, so that should tell us that that's just a one-step unit and that's a field. That must be what the X stands for, like the field ground unit. Okay, and then nothing for the Western faction to do there, or obviously the Soviets. Okay, moved on to February. That's ticking over actually, isn't it? But yeah, it's just like, what I done before this was a training scenario for France, and yeah, it starts in May, doesn't it? And then you've got 5 turns: May, June, July, August, and September, I think. Something like that, or does it start in June? You get 5 or 6 turns to do it. So that's what we're going to be doing next. We do still have to go Norway though. Remember, we need 4 other countries. We've taken 2, Poland and Denmark. Oh, Poland, Denmark. Is it 4 plus Poland? Maybe I've got that wrong. Maybe we don't need Norway. I get the feeling we do. So, it's not. No, it will be in here. Where's the victory conditions? Not finding it. Axis faction win if by the end of December 40 achieves all the following, otherwise the Western faction wins. Poland and 4 other countries that are except France. Yeah, so we need Poland plus Norway, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, and then we need France or the UK. And then we need to have at least one other active Axis country besides Germany. Well, now we've got Romania. Good. And if we've done Romania wrong, then pretty sure we could have had Hungary, so we've got that covered. If we did. I don't think we did, though. I think that was good. Yeah, I need to get the rulebook printed out now, because that's starting to bug me now. I'm going between the two. And so I was swelling about doing another part, but maybe I shouldn't. It's getting a bit late. Mind you, it's probably going to be a quick turn though, Grant, isn't it? Because I very much doubt we're going to get the weather to be going for Norway, so we're probably going to be doing a whole lot of nothing. But then it might turn into a part that requires 2 turns, really. Right, I'll see. I better put these up, start uploading these, because that's 2 that I've got on my camera at the moment. And then I'll start putting them together, and then I'll see what's what. So I might be back later, might be tomorrow. Okay, cheers.